Alright, what's up everyone, I'm Filoki, and today there are 29 thoroughly disappointed big men in Seattle, Washington. Today was a day that the Seattle Seahawks had to bring their roster size from what I believe was 81 down to 53, and they actually brought it down to 52 because the Sidney Jones trade hasn't gone through yet. So, 29 players have been cut. It's time to go through the list. Who's surprising, who's kind of expected, who's still on the team. Now, what stood out to me, and I believe probably what stood out to most people, was the fact that we're only keeping 4 wide receivers on roster right now. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Freddie Swain, Dwayne Eskridge are our only wide receivers on roster. We cut Connor Weddington, Cade Johnson, and Penny Hart, surprisingly. I did not expect Penny Hart to go. But along with those guys, the Seattle Seahawks also cut John Reid, which was kind of expected. We did just trade for him a couple days ago, but he wasn't really supposed to make the roster. I think he was just there for injury purposes, especially once we got Sidney Jones. We just kind of threw him out. We keep our 7th round pick because the only way we would have lost it is if he played 6 games for the Seahawks, and obviously that didn't happen. But other than those 4 guys that are probably the most important and most interesting storylines from the final cuts, Cade Johnson, Connor Weddington, of course, good stories. It would have been nice to have them. I just like those guys. Penny Hart, really surprising that he got cut. I did not expect that. And then John Reid, you know, we got our pick back. That's a good thing. I'm just going to scroll down the list here of everyone else that was cut. So we have Robert Nkemdiche, Demarius Randall, and Jordan Simmons, who are veterans, so they don't have to go on the waivers or anything like that. We have Miles Adams, Ian Bunting, who was brought in because of Colby Parkinson's injury, Tommy Champion, Ashari Crosswell, Aaron Donker. That one's kind of interesting. I didn't think that he counted against the roster spots. Maybe that was just for the training camp. I'm not sure. Greg Elam got cut. Aaron Fuller got cut. He was a guy that did pretty decent in the preseason, but didn't really matter. Gavin Heslop, he did okay in the preseason, didn't matter. Jared Hewitt, he had a couple good plays in the preseason, didn't matter. Jared Hawker, Josh Johnson, pretty disappointed about Josh Johnson. It makes sense why we didn't keep him because we have so many good running backs, but he's probably going to get stolen off the Seahawks practice squad, even if we do get him back on the practice squad. We also have Pierre-Olivier Lestage. I believe I said that right. I haven't said that name in a while. He's gone. Brad Lundblade, Tyler Marbury, that's another tight end. So the Seahawks, I believe, only have 3 tight ends now. They have Gerald Everett, Will Dissly, and Colby Parkinson, who is injured. Maybe he's coming back before we realize that. That could be a good story from these cuts. We have Joshua Moon getting cut. John Radigan, he had a decent showing in the last preseason game. We have Darius Robertson Jr., who I believe is our only passing touchdown catch of the preseason. He's gone. Will Sunderland's gone at corner. Cam Sutton's gone. So basically every tight end is gone for us. Cody Thompson, Travis, I'm not even going to try that last name. Connor Weddington, of course, is gone, and Lakeem Williams. So, of course, it's definitely disappointing for those guys. Some of them had some really good preseason showings. Cade Johnson, Connor Weddington, I would have really liked to keep them. Aaron Fuller did well in the preseason, and Penny Hart, I don't know how he got cut, but that ended up happening. So, unfortunate for those guys, but let's take a look at what the roster actually looks like now. Now, this graphic comes from Seahawks Kingdom on Instagram, and it basically just shows the 53-man roster in a pretty concise image. So, of course, I was kind of surprised with the quarterbacks. I didn't think Sean Mannion would stay on the team, but it seems like he did. We kept a lot of depth at running back, 5 guys. I assume we're still looking to trade one of them instead of cutting them and getting them off the roster. I'm really surprised with the wide receivers. Only 4 guys in the wide receiver depth. I thought we would have a lot more. You know, Penny Hart, he's solid. I don't know why he got cut. Cade Johnson, Connor Weddington would have been some pretty decent backup guys. Tight end, 3 guys, kind of to be expected. Maybe we could have kept one more because Colby Parkinson is injured, but maybe he's doing better than we know. Offensive line, we got good depth. D-line, I believe these are the guys that I had in my prediction. Linebacker, everyone kind of expected these guys. Corner, this has Sidney Reid on the roster. He's not officially on roster yet, so that's why the Seahawks went down to 52 men. But to make it 53, Sidney Jones is on here for obvious reasons. And then at safety, Ryan Neal stays on the team. That's kind of to be expected. So defensively, everything's kind of to be expected, but offensively, kind of weird that we don't really keep any of our wide receivers. Maybe we're planning on doing something with that. Maybe we are going to trade one of our running backs for a wide receiver, but I don't know why we would do that instead of keeping, you know, solid guys. We don't need like a wide receiver 3. Freddie Swain could be that. Dwayne Eskridge could be that. We don't really need to trade for a wide receiver. I don't know what we would trade one of our running backs for. Maybe picks. But then what do we do, you know, with our wide receiver depth? Honestly, I don't think 4 wide receivers is enough going into this season, but maybe the Seahawks have something planned. I have no idea, but just a bit weird to me that the wide receiver depth has just been completely thrown out the window. Me, when I made my initial prediction, focused on the wide receiver depth a lot because we had so many talented guys, and most of the guys that we're cutting, Penny Hart probably going to be taken off the practice squad if we throw him on there. Cade Johnson, Josh Johnson probably going to be taken off the practice squad because they're good players that can grow, but I guess the Seahawks just didn't want the wide receiver depth. Josh Johnson is a running back, but had to mention him as well because I think he's gone. But let me know down below in the comments what you think about these cuts. I'm really surprised with the Penny Hart cut. The John Reid cut, it's good that we got our 7th round pick back. Really just a meaningless trade at the end of the day. And then Josh Johnson, Cade Johnson, and Connor Weddington, kind of sad, but you know, they weren't really guaranteed to make the roster. I'm really surprised about Penny Hart, but let me know down below in the comments what you think about it. Like I said, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. And with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. Have a great day.